Well, good morning and welcome to Resurrection Lutheran Academy. I am Pastor Adam Clark. I'm one of the association pastors here in support of the school, which you will hear referred to from here on out as RLA, a little bit shorter. We are thankful to all of you for coming out today to support National School Choice Week. We are here today to celebrate the incredible opportunities that our children and families have in Indiana because of school choice, and we appreciate you taking time in your schedule to celebrate with us and to register our support and our encouragement for one another. Ultimately, as educators here and as parents, we are in support of all children throughout the country, and here in Indiana, we're in support of all schools and all efforts to educate our kids, public school, other private schools like ourselves, home schools. We want all of our children to receive a quality education in the situation that's the best fit for them and for their families. And so we're so thankful today to have the chance to celebrate that opportunity for choice and to call upon one another and upon our legislature to continue to support all families and all schools in raising our kids and educating them. Not all families in the U.S. have access to school choice programs like we do here in Indiana. And so today we also want to express our thanks to our legislature and to all the citizens of the state of Indiana for their support and for their hard work on behalf of our schools. Today we also join together to highlight the need for these programs to continue and to press forward, to call and encourage the state of Indiana to continue as they have been, to be at the cutting edge of new options and new opportunities for our Indiana families. I'll give you then a brief outline of what we're going to do this morning. So first of all, we have refreshments in the back. I think you've mostly discovered those already, and feel free to please continue to enjoy them. Next up, in a moment, we'll bring in our RLA choir to sing 2 songs for you. We'll have 3 speakers after that, and finally, a closing statement from our partner, the Institute for Quality Education, and in support then of National School Choice Week. And so without further ado, one more piece I'll give you. We do encourage you to take pictures throughout the morning. Take any picture you want to, share it with your friends, share it on your social media. We're happy to have you do that and spread the word. So I will invite our RLA choir to come in to share a gift of song with us this morning.
Take the second row.
Please help us sing our verses, and the kids all join in the chorus. And then after that, we'll be just doing a Christmas song that we had from our program. Since this came up right after the new year, we don't have to practice anything new yet. So you'll have an epiphany song. This is fine. Right, right in the center.
Some days life feels perfect, other days it just ain't working. The good, the bad, the right, the wrong, and everything in between. It's crazy, amazing, we can turn our hearts with the words we say. Mountains crumble with every syllable, hope can live or die. So speak life to the deadest, darkest nights. Speak life, when the sun won't shine and you don't know why. Look into the eyes of the broken-hearted, watch it come alive as soon as you speak hope, you speak love, you speak life. Oh, 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 oh. You speak life. Some days the tongue gets twisted, other days my thoughts just fall apart. I do, I don't, I will, I won't. It's like I'm drowning in the deep. It's crazy to imagine words from my lips as the arms of compassion. Mountains crumble with every syllable, hope can live or die. So speak life to the deadest, darkest nights. Speak life, when the sun won't shine, you don't know why. Look into the eyes of the broken-hearted, watch them come alive as soon as you speak hope, you speak love, you speak life. Oh, 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 oh. You speak life. Oh, 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 oh. Lift your head a little higher, spread your love like a fire. Hope will fall like rain when you speak life with the words you say. Raise your thoughts a little higher, use your words to inspire. Joy will fall like rain when you speak life with the words you say. Speak life to the deadest, darkest night. Speak life, the sun won't shine and you don't know why. Look into the eyes of the broken-hearted, watch it come alive as soon as you speak hope, you speak love, you speak life. Oh, 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 oh. 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 the bells on Christmas Day their old familiar carols play, and mild and sweet their songs repeat, of peace on earth, goodwill to man. And the bells are ringing like a choir, they're singing. In my heart I hear them, peace on earth, goodwill to man. And in despair I bowed my head. There is no peace on earth, I said. The hate is strong and mocks the song of peace on earth, goodwill to man. But the bells are ringing like a choir, they're singing. Does anybody hear them? Peace on earth, goodwill to man. Send goodwill to men. Then ring the bells for levity. God is not dead, nor doth he sleep. Peace on earth, peace on earth. Long shall hail the right prevail. With peace on earth, goodwill to men. Then ringing, singing on its way, the world revolved from night to day. A voice, a chime, a chant sublime, of peace on earth, goodwill to man. But the bells are ringing, and the choir, they're singing. Open our hearts, we'll hear them. Peace on earth, goodwill to man. Bells are ringing, peace on earth. Angels sing, peace on earth. Peace on earth, goodwill to man. Peace on earth, goodwill to man.
Thank you, students, for singing so wonderfully for us this morning, and thank you to Mrs. Natalie Liss, our music teacher here at RLA, for her direction of our choirs and her encouragement of our kids. We appreciate you all. As they file out, we'll turn to our speakers this morning. Our first speaker today is going to be Mr. Donald Swift. He is the Director of Development here at RLA. a product of Lutheran schools himself that he'll share a little bit with us about. And as you can imagine, as Director of Development, he knows a little bit about funding schools and school choice, and he's a big fan of school choice. So I invite him to come up and share with us now, Mr. Donald Swift.
Well, thank you, Pastor Clark, for that introduction. It's not every day a pastor passes you the microphone and lets you talk. And thank you for everyone who came out for this event to celebrate National School of Choice Week with us. Some of you drove hours to be here, like President Stuckwish of the Indiana district. But then others of us kind of had to be here, like our awesome admin team, our principal, Michelle Megacy, and our Director of Operations, Lisa Schmidt-Gosling back there. And they are truly the best. Give them a round of applause, because I wouldn't be here without them. But I am so thankful for all of you who chose to be here this morning. Thank you. When I moved here to take the position of Director of Development for RLA, I had no idea what the Choice Voucher Program was because I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. I learned very quickly how important the Choice Program is to the community and how many lives it has impacted, because I know it would have changed mine. When I was growing up, my family didn't have a whole lot of money, but my parents did not want us going to Cleveland Public Schools because at the time they were failing. So my parents made the choice to send myself and my two siblings to a private Lutheran school, very much like RLA. My parents saved and sacrificed a lot so their children could go to a private school so that they could have a great education based in faith. When the tuition got too much for 3 kids to go to private school, they made the choice to move. I was in 4th grade at the time. My family moved to a city just outside of Cleveland, and one of the deciding factors was to move was that city had great schools. When I started 5th grade in the new highly rated public school that I was at, they were teaching and starting concepts I had learned in 4th grade at my previous school. If Ohio had the choice voucher that Indiana has now, my family would never have had to move. I could have kept my friends, and most importantly, my education would have never had to been disrupted. It is awesome that over 85% of the students here at RLA won't have to be put in that position because of the state voucher program. This week is also National Lutheran Schools Week. And when I was at my Lutheran school, I read Mark chapter 10. And I promise I have read it more than once since then. But this was the time that the disciples were blocking children from coming to Jesus to see their Savior. Then Jesus admonished the disciples and told them in verse 14, "Let the children come to me. Do not hinder them." With 100% of the students who attend RLA receiving financial aid and over 70 of them getting the choice voucher, we at RLA are not blocking children from hearing the gospel, but allowing them to learn the faith in everything we do every day. The children who attend RLA grow by the cross, as it says on the wall behind me. With 39% of RLA students not attending church, this is the first and sometimes only time they are hearing the gospel is when they are here in our building. We are able to share the light of the gospel in our community, in all of Michiana, and Christian schools across the state are able to do the same because of the voucher program. RLA is not what it is today and able to serve so many families without the voucher program. Thank you.
Thank you, Donald. Next up, we have Mr. Peter Rinks. Peter completed his undergraduate degree in architecture at Lawrence Tech and an MBA at Notre Dame. He is now the owner of the Rinks Group here, a local real estate development and construction company. And he's also a proud RLA dad. He has 3 kids currently here and 1 more incoming. And so we are glad to have him with us this morning. Mr. Peter Rinks.
Hey, great. Wow, yeah, so Donald asked me to do this last night at like 11 o'clock. No, I'm joking. He gave me a few days heads up. And so I was trying to think of what to share. Yes, I have 3 children here currently, but also my brother has 4 children here. So that's 7 Rinks children at RLA. And then also my little sister is the first grade teacher here at RLA. So I want everybody to understand the Rinks family is the largest family group of RLA. So yes, thank you. And no, even though I've recommended it, we did not get any referral bonuses or Applebee's gift cards for every additional child. It was all just honestly because we thought it was the best school in the area. And the same goes for my little sister. Not just was it a great school for her to be at, but also the school is blessed to have such a talented young lady. And so it was a great fit, and we strongly encouraged her to come. So when I was thinking about what to share and the choice program and how it impacts our family, what I thought about was kind of the history of this, right? So when you look back at public education and Christian education, how did this division happen between the public schools and the private schools? So, I mean, honestly, it's not a history lesson. I'm not equipped to give it. But when you look at even the foundation of America was a Christian nation, one nation under God, and that was in our Constitution from the Declaration of Independence. But public education wasn't something that was required at the time. And a lot of times, education at all was for the elites. It was only for the super wealthy that hired a teacher or sent them away to be taught. And so you had very low education at all amongst society at that time, back in the 1700s. Well, in the mid-1800s, as education became more and more popular, it became more and more of an expectation that our children should be educated. And so kind of by that mid-1800 time frame, we started to get government-funded schools. And at that time, those schools were Christian schools. Christ was at the center of them. We were still a very Christian nation at that time. And I don't know if you remember, well, it's still going on today, right? But the reason why all these people came to America, all in thanks to a guy named Martin Luther, right, who started this Reformation of people that wanted to leave the Catholicism, the Catholic religion, and come to a new nation and found this Christian nation. So fast forward, mid-1800s, we have all Christian schools. They are very Bible-based, fundamentally Christian, and Catholics were not allowed to be part of it. So they're government-funded schools that didn't want anything to do with Catholic schools. And so there was something called, look it up, it was fascinating to me, it was called the Blaine Amendment. And it was meant to ostracize the Catholic churches that no government monies could go towards a para-school organization, a non-government organization. And so it created this line of state funding back in the mid-1800s between public schools and non-Christian government schools. And it was very intentionally to segregate the Catholic schools at the time. But that same line of thinking, starting right then, carries through to today, right? Where we have this line in between a public education and anything not a public education. And what state funding and state funds or tax dollars can go towards. And so now we have Christian schools and everything else. But fast forward 100 years, right? You get to the 1950s, 60s, 70s, right? And what's happening in the 70s with our public education, right? Some of you remember this. It's take God out of the schools, right? Don't force your religion on me in the schools. right? It needs to be more bipartisan and take this out of it. And so now we have this effort to teach our kids atheism, right? There's no God. It's evolution. There's no God in history. There's no God in science. In comes Peter, right? 1980s. I was born, and we're at the result of all of this. My brother and I grew up in Edwardsburg, Michigan, and so we were. It was very poor growing up. We grew up in a mobile home on a piece of property, and our options were either public school or a Christian school that we couldn't afford. And my parents had to make a hard decision at that time. And yes, here's the climax of the story. I was homeschooled. And for some of you, you've all now developed another opinion of me. And so for some of you, you're like, oh, homeschool, I guess, is okay. And then for the rest of you, you're like, that explains a lot. You're like, yep, now I get it. But when I think about the choice program and what's currently going on, my parents were desperate for this. My mom desperately needed this. Boy, she would have been all over the choice program. And I'm not gonna say anything might have turned out differently, but it would have been a great blessing to my mom in that period as they were wondering and searching and trying to figure out what to do with it. And so I'm thankful that we get to send our kids here. I'm really thankful for the choice program. And as I was trying to think of how to end, I think the best thing is just another round of applause for choice, for RLA, for everything that Indiana's doing. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Peter. Last up this morning is Mr. Rob Hunt. Rob is the head athletic trainer for the University of Notre Dame. You might have seen him on the football field, although we like it better when he stays on the sideline and doesn't have to come out, right, Rob? His wife, Krista, was also a teacher here at RLA for many years, and his kids are all RLA alums as well. And so I invite him to come up and share with us this morning. Mr. Rob Hunt.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here and speak to you all today. I'm just going to share a little bit of my experience here at RLA. In the athletic world, we kind of bounce around similar to coaches trying to find our way professionally, and I've had the opportunity to live in a couple different states, and I can share with you that education matters, and it's not the same everywhere. So when we had the opportunity to come back to Indiana, I'm born and raised here in Indiana, it was a benefit for us, but one of the first things for me as a father was what are our education options for our kids. We've got 4 kids, all of which were lucky enough to come through here through RLA, but seeing RLA as an option for us as a Lutheran family and being able to have that opportunity for our kids to have a Christ-centered education was a benefit and a draw for us to this community. And the school choice certainly gives all kids in this area that opportunity to have that choice. I'm super grateful for Indiana over the years to find ways to make it easier for families, as that's changed drastically really over the last several years, to kind of take out the baggage that is required for people to have that opportunity. But education is not the same everywhere, and it makes a difference for my kids in terms of their life and where they're at right now. I've got 2 in college and 2 still in high school, but their foundation and formation that was formed here at RLA set them up for the success that they're currently having both in high school and in higher education. I look at it a lot. I'm in the medical field. Not all doctors are the same. And whether you get good care or bad care, they're still considered a physician. So we trust that all doctors are going to take care of us, but all physicians aren't equal, and all education is not equal either, and it's unfortunate. And it's that way here in South Bend, and school choice gives these kids way more options than they would have otherwise. RLA is a wonderful environment for kids to learn and grow and develop. I get to see both sides of it. I saw it as a father. I was the spouse of a teacher. I am the spouse of a teacher, but she taught here for 10 years, and 10-ish years, 10 years, and made a difference in kids' lives. And we saw when choice became available here at RLA, the demographics and the kids that had that available to them and the opportunities to receive such a high education or a challenging education centered around Christ certainly changes their outcome and their opportunities beyond RLA. So for me, although I didn't go through the school choice, we didn't need school choice, having that opportunity for this community is massive from an educational experience. And so RLA is certainly a bright light on what can be and should be the educational standard here in South Bend, and every kid deserves this opportunity. So thank you.
Thanks very much, Rob. Thank you to all of our speakers. One more round of applause for all of our speakers. We are excited, as you can tell, about the opportunities through the school choice program. We're excited to see where it goes here going forward. I want to thank all of you again for coming out this morning to share in the celebration and in the support. I also want to thank all of our community partners who came out today and are at tables along the sides. We can't do what we do here at the school without the support of community partners, and we want to be good community partners to you as well. We want to, as we've said all along, support all of our families and our kids and the opportunities that are open for everyone, fully funded and supported whatever route a family wants to go, public, private, yes, even homeschooling, Peter. We're in favor of it all. We're in favor of kids that are loved and are educated well. And so as we think about how that's going to extend into the future, I also want to finally thank our partner in the Institute for Quality Education and for the work that they're doing and for National School Choice Week. And I want to invite up Mr. Eli Page to come and share with us from the Institute for Quality Education one last opportunity that we all have to share in helping things move forward. Mr. Page.
Thank you so much, everybody, for coming out. This is fantastic. My name is Eli Page. I'm the Regional Organizing Director for this area for the Northeast area of Indiana. I work for the Institute for Quality Education, and it is our honor to be able to serve families all throughout the state of Indiana. We work to create school choice scholarships at the State House. We work to expand school choice scholarships at the State House. We partner with National School Choice Week to highlight amazing schools that represent the best of what Indiana can do in this state. I think we're top in the field when it comes to school choice in the nation, and I think Resurrection Lutheran Academy is an amazing example of what you can do with school choice in Indiana. We see them representing here for us not only Lutheran schools, but K-8 schools throughout the state of Indiana. We have phenomenal stories from parents that you've heard from a couple of them that are up here. It's kind of nice. It's like, I am one of those Mr. Rinks that's like, oh, that explains a lot. So, I was homeschooled K-12, and we always like to brag that you can identify another homeschooler. It's just like the way they talk and the way they move. It's like, I bet he was homeschooled. He couldn't have come out of a public school. But no, we support all school options. We're so excited to have all of these. And what we like to do is throw on this event to highlight and showcase Indiana, but also to show the State House how supportive we are and how thankful we are for their work in creating these school options, because we couldn't do it without them. So one thing I want to highlight is every year during National School Choice Week, we like to thank legislators by sending them a group of emails. What we do is I've got a table back there. You can see my school options table with the logo and the black tablecloth over there. I've got a bunch of pieces of paper. If you will sign those pieces of paper, what we'll do is we'll send a bunch of thank you emails and thank you messages to legislators, encouraging them to continue to support the amazing options we have here. You've heard from incredible speakers, incredible parents. We had an amazing choir performance, just showing some of that. That just gives you chills listening to that. That's incredible. Not every state, not every city has access to what you guys have access to right now. And we're looking to create more options, give more families access, but at the very least, we want to support the families that are using these options. We want the schools like this to grow and to be a bright spot for places like South Bend, but for Indiana as a whole. So if you would, thank you so much for your time and coming out here. I know we braved the weather. There's another storm coming, so we're kind of fitting it in right in between. Like Donald said earlier, if you guys take pictures, we really encourage that. Visit the school supporting vendors here on the corners. If you guys post anything on social media, just put hashtag National School Choice Week. Feel free to grab these scarves. These scarves are for you to show our support for National School Choice Week. And can we get one more round of applause for our amazing supporters and our speakers and the choir? Thank you guys so much for coming out. Stay safe, bundle up, stay warm, and continue to support amazing schools like this.